Hello, I'm Kendra Cook, your host for the DCTV Daily News program out of Dove Creek, Colorado. It's brought to you by the Dolores County Broadcasting Network with support from the Southwest Colorado TV Translator Association. That's the Special District Association responsible for bringing the area free to access TV stations over the air by antenna. This is a community TV station. If there's a news story or event information you'd like to share, call us at 970-677-4119 or email dcbnnews@gmail.com. And if you're a business or organization, we welcome you to find out about sponsorship opportunities on the channel. This is the Friday transmission for April 9th, 2021, DCTV Daily News. Here's an important bit of national news relative to gun regulations through Biden's new gun control measures. This is a follow-up from yesterday's breaking news. The Washington Examiner wrote that while President Joe Biden pushes for stricter gun control regulations, the Supreme Court is considering several Second Amendment cases with potentially major implications for gun ownership. The case comes before the court as Biden ramps up the pressure for legislative action on gun rights. On Thursday, Biden signed a series of executive orders regulating firearms, and the White House signaled that his actions were, quote, just the beginning of a crusade against gun violence and guns. At the same time, the Supreme Court is weighing in whether it will take up two cases that could clarify the limits of the Second Amendment. The first looks at the constitutionality of licenses to carry concealed handguns. The second examines the rights of convicted felons to own firearms. The court has both cases scheduled for its next Friday conference and could decide whether to hear them this month. The first case arose out of a dispute over New York licensing. Petitioners seek to resolve an issue the court left unanswered more than a decade ago when it ruled that the Second Amendment protects the right to keep guns in the home for self-defense. This new case seeks to confirm that same protection for gun owners seeking to carry their weapons concealed in public. As it stands, New York law requires applicants for a license to demonstrate, quote, proper cause and, quote, special need for self-protection distinguishable from that of the general community or of persons engaged in the same profession. But several New York residents, as well as the New York State Rifle and Pistol Association, pushed back, arguing that such rules were unconstitutional. Several federal courts ruled in favor of the New York law before the case reached the Supreme Court. The court has not delivered a significant Second Amendment ruling since 2010. In 2019, however, the court took up a case addressing New York City firearm transport restrictions, but the court tossed the case last year after the city changed its regulations. At the same time, three justices, Samuel Alito, Neil Gorsuch, and Clarence Thomas, dissented, writing that the High Court should be considering Second Amendment cases. Justice Brett Kavanaugh agreed in a concurrence, writing that, quote, the court should address that issue soon, pointing to several cases already awaiting its attention. For these reasons, there's a strong likelihood the Supreme Court will decide to hear arguments in the New York case, said Jacob Charles, executive director of Duke University's Center for Firearms Law. Quote, I suspect that there is a clear majority that wants to hear and decide a Second Amendment challenge, he said, adding that the New York case would be a natural choice for the court because the decision could resolve lower court splits on the issue. Charles said that it is difficult to predict how the conservative-dominated court would rule on the case, but that there is clearly energy from the justices to jump into the fray. In the second case, the court could decide whether convicted felons can own guns after they have been released from prison. The case is significant to the court because Justice Amy Coney Barrett, whose ascendance cemented conservatives' 6-3 majority, has weighed in on that issue before. So we will watch how the court responds. Meanwhile, there are several concerns that comments Biden made in his speech yesterday contradict what is already in place, such as regarding background checks, which at gun shows, it already requires you to get a background check, although he said that would be something new. And other concerns are over David Chipman being appointed as the head of the ATF. As he made false allegations that during the Waco raid where he was, he claims he stated that because the individuals shot down a helicopter, which is blatantly false, that was why the event occurred. The Biden speech saying that no amendment to the Constitution is absolute shows exactly what the public is concerned about, as our Constitution is what guides our governance, and many people are concerned about the future of our country. And the Second Amendment right is at the core of defending a nation from tyrants. And now, let's take a look at our local weather. Today, sunny with a high near 56 degrees with northwest winds around 15 miles an hour. For tonight, mostly clear and a low around 32. Northwest winds at 5 to 15 miles an hour, shifting to the east in the evening, may make it feel a little colder, under 32 degrees. A pleasant but still a bit windy weekend is on tap. Saturday, sunny and a high near 64 with northeast winds 5 to 15 miles an hour, becoming south-southwest in the morning. For Saturday night, clear and a low around 37 with west winds 5 to 15 miles an hour, becoming east-northeast after midnight. Into Sunday, sunny again with a high near 64, northeast winds 5 to 10 miles an hour, becoming west-northwest 10 to 15 in the afternoon. Winds could gust as high as 30. For Sunday night, mostly clear and a low around 36 degrees. Into Monday, mostly sunny and a high near 65, with Monday night mostly cloudy and a low around 42. And thank you to those of you who prayed or danced or whatever you had to do to encourage moisture in our future cast. Look for next Tuesday for a slight chance of rain and snow showers before 8 a.m. and then a chance of rain showers, some thunders also possibly, partly sunny and a high near 63. For Tuesday night, a slight chance of rain showers before 2 a.m. and then a slight chance of rain and snow showers as it gets colder between 2 a.m. and 5 a.m. and a slight chance of snow showers after 5 a.m. Partly cloudy with a low around 37 overnight. Into Wednesday, it'll clear back up again, mostly sunny with a high near 56. Wednesday night, partly cloudy and a low around 33. And now, back to our news. The other big news leading the headlines on Friday is the death of Prince Philip of England. First is my opinion. Editorially speaking, the strong, emotional mesmerizing of the British royal family is astounding and far-reaching. Well beyond the British island, the hype of the crown is crucial in understanding how our global geopolitical world is connected and run by some long-tied family connections. Look up the term Black Monarchy if you have further interest in this. This is not a conspiracy theory. It's historically documented and easy to see for those who take a look. That being said, the announced death of Prince Philip today, April 9th, 4/9/2021, will take everyone's attention away from all the other issues that we really should be looking at. The American Almanac wrote an interesting piece on the history of the House of Windsor. All details are fact-checkable, yet no one seems to care or be aware of these backgrounds. They write, one of the biggest public relations hoaxes ever perpetrated by the British Crown is that King Edward VIII, who abdicated the throne in 1938 due to his support for the Nazis, was a, quote, black sheep, an aberration in an otherwise unblemished Windsor line. Nothing could be further from the truth. The British monarchy and the City of London's leading crown bankers enthusiastically backed Hitler and the Nazis, bankrolled the Führer's election, and did everything possible to build the Nazi war machine for Britain's planned geopolitical war between Germany and Russia. Support for Nazi-style genocide has always been at the heart of the House of Windsor policy, and long after the abdication of Edward VIII, the Merry Windsors maintained their direct Nazi links. So, when Prince Philip, co-founder with Prince Bernhard of the Netherlands of the World Wildlife Fund, the WWF, tells an interviewer that he hopes to be, quote, reincarnated as a deadly virus to help solve the, quote, population problem, he is just, quote, doing what comes naturally for any scion of the Anglo-Dutch oligarchy. To get beyond the soap opera stuff and truly understand the Windsors today, it's useful to start with Prince Philip. Not only was he trained in the Hitler Youth curriculum, but his German brothers-in-law, with whom he lived, all became high-ranking figures in the Nazi Party. Before his family was forced into exile, Prince Philip had been in line of succession to the Greek throne, established after a British-run coup against the son of King Ludwig of Bavaria, who became King Otto I of the Hellenes. Having dispatched King Otto in 1862, London ran a talent search for a successor. Sandy Cortez was picked for that same reason through a talent search. That's interesting, which in this case in London resulted in the selection of Prince William, the son of the designated heir and nephew to the Danish king, Crown Prince Christian. In 1862, Prince William of the Danes was installed as King George I of Greece and married a granddaughter of Tsar Nicholas I in 1866. Prince Philip is a grandson of Queen Victoria, and he is related to most of the current and former crowned heads of Europe, including 7 czars. The marriages of Prince Philip's sisters definitely strengthened the German aristocratic ties. During 1931 to 32, Philip's 4 older sisters married as follows: Margarita to a Czech-Austrian prince named Gottfried von Hohenzollern-Lamberg, a great-grandson of England's Queen Victoria; Theodora to Berthold, the Margrave of Baden; Cecilia to George Donatus, Grand Duke of Hesse, by the Rhine, also a great-grandson of Queen Victoria, Sophie, to Prince Christoph of Hesse. Three of Philip's brothers-in-laws were part of a group of German aristocrats who were Anglophile and pro-Nazi at the same time, and who remain a subversive force in Germany to this day. The most famous quote of Prince Philip, again, has to remain his repeated desire to be reincarnated as a deadly virus. It has been and remains the policy of the Anglo-Dutch financial empire, now committed to a reduction of world population from the present alleged 7 billion to under 2 billion persons, as repeatedly stated in the post-war period by such leading spokesmen as Lord Bertrand Russell, Julian Huxley, and World Wildlife Fund founders Prince Bernhard of the Netherlands and Prince Philip. On January 9, 2021, Philip and the Queen were vaccinated against COVID-19 by a household doctor at Windsor Castle. That's reported online. And on the 16th of February 2021, Philip was admitted to King Edward VII's Hospital as a, quote, precautionary measure after feeling unwell. He was visited by Prince Charles on the 20th of February, and on 23rd February, it was confirmed by Buckingham Palace that Philip was, quote, responding to treatment for an infection. On March 1st, 2021, Philip was transferred by ambulance to St. Bartholomew's Hospital to continue treatment for, quote, an infection, and additionally to undergo, quote, testing and observation relating to a pre-existing heart condition. He underwent a successful procedure for his heart on the 3rd of March and was transferred back to King Edward VII's Hospital on the 5th. He was discharged by the 16th. Philip died on April 9th, again today, 2021, at the age of 99, just 2 months before his centennial, which he did not want to reach, he said. He was the longest-serving royal consort in British history. The cause of death has not yet been disclosed, but apparently he did die within months of having taken the Project COVID-19 vaccine. Ironic or karma that he expressed he wants to be reincarnated as a deadly virus. Let's hope that's not the case. Colorado fire officials, along with Governor Jared Polis, announced the 2021 wildfire season mitigation plan on Thursday to fight fires earlier with more money and resources on the ground after the unprecedented 2020 wildfire season with 3 of the largest fires in state history. This was reported in the Journal from an AP report and an AP photo. They write, in 2021, we have already experienced fires, Polis said. One of the things that is a change of paradigm is Colorado used to talk about a fire season. It's now a year-round phenomenon. The plan comes after Colorado's 2020 summer and fall, which included 3 of the largest fires in state history and an unusual extended wildfire season well into October. The 2020 fires burned more than 935 square miles, said Mike Morgan, director of the Colorado Division of Fire Prevention and Control. The new approach to combating and mitigating wildfires across the state will be a, quote, aggressive initial attack, Morgan said. By allocating resources to local governments sooner, they hope to lessen a fire's impact by shortening the length of time it's burning. Quote, we spend a little bit more money today, but we don't have as many long-duration events as a result of that, he said. After a devastating 2020 season, Colorado is undergoing a, quote, metamorphosis of the change of the culture of how we respond to wildfires, said Stan Hilke, executive director of the Colorado Department of Public Safety. With excess money, heightened aviation support, tactical prepositioning, and mutual aid across local, state, and federal partners, Hilke praised the state's mitigation efforts. Quote, I've never seen a more state of readiness than we have today, Hilke said. Several bills passed in the Colorado legislature set aside millions of dollars for wildfire mitigation, including money for more aviation tools and the extension of several contracts for air tankers and helicopters used to fight fires from above. Throughout the Southwest, extreme drought and lack of precipitation are contributing to higher and more severe wildfire risks. In an April 1st report, the National Interagency Fire Center Predictive Services said, quote, above normal risk is predicted to expand from southwest Colorado in May to much of southern Colorado in June. A shift northward of the above normal significant fire potential is projected across west central and northwest Colorado into southwest Wyoming during the month of July. The true nature of this fire season won't be apparent until we see the April and May precipitation, Polis said. Polis said that the state's growing population will lead to an increasing number of people affected by wildfires over time because of more people moving into the wildland interface and more people using outdoor areas for recreation. The state demographer estimates that Colorado's current population of 5.7 million people will increase to 8.5 million in the next 19 years, Polis said. Officials encourage the public to take their role seriously in preventing wildfires as the season ramps up. Quote, on average across the country, human-caused wildfires make up 87% of wildfire occurrences every year. Most of these fires can be prevented. Cigarettes, campfires, fireworks, and even sparks from a trailer chain can ignite a small fire that spreads fast, damaging lands and homes, Polis said. Quote, a seemingly minor act can cause great devastation in our state, he said. So, apparently, we need to expect the unexpected, as the phrase from the CBS show Big Brother made famous. Unfortunately, the fear-mongering is being backed up by actual threats on this front. Geoengineering and weather modifications have left our corner of the world high and dry, as they say. Again, expect an open fire ban once the fuel on the ground becomes dry enough to mandate restrictions, again, on open fires for this year. And today's High Canyon Country happenings. Another reminder of the Fireman's Pancake Breakfast on Sunday, starting at 7 a.m. at the old firehouse. I say old because the fire district has plans in the works to build a new facility on the west end of town next to the DCTV Business Park. As we hear more details on their plans, we will be sharing that with you. And to catch this program online, visit our Facebook page, DCTV Daily News, or also DCTV Daily News on YouTube. Both you can follow and or subscribe to and join in on the conversation. This is your local community TV station, so if you have something you'd like to share, contact us. The email is dcbnnews@gmail.com or call me at 970-677-4119 and leave a message at the studio. Thanks for tuning in to DCTV Daily News. If you like the program, again, please do like and follow us on Facebook and share it with your friends and family. This has been a production of DCTV for the DCTV Daily News program out of Dove Creek, Colorado, USA. I'm Kendra Cook. Be well and keep thinking for yourself.